Alright folks, welcome to another beer review. First of all, absolute shocker on the hair front. I just can't be arsed washing it. I will have to tomorrow because it's been about 4 days. And there's only so much dry shampoo can, mask the problem. But you'll just have to bear with it. I'm sorry. It's somehow my head's gone square, even though it's oddly shaped but weirdly spherical. Anyway, so today we're going over to Anspach and Hobday and having a look at London Black Independent Nitro Porter, 4.4% ABV. And yeah, this is becoming a bit of a cult classic, isn't it? And one of those beers that gets the Guinness killer tag. And yes, we will be using the Nitro Surge on this because I spent 25 quid on that and I want to try and get as much money for my buck, bang for my buck, as I possibly can. Although it does work remarkably well on obviously the Nitro Surge cans. I've had pints of Guinness in pubs that have tasted and texturally felt worse than what this wonderful little device can do. And of course, you can, with a little bit of ingenuity, use it with other cans. But you have to, of course, adopt the pin method to allow the nitrogen, is it? Yeah, nitrogen, to expel from the can. I couldn't find a bobby pin. Or bobby pin, is that an American term? Like a sewing pin, sewing needle, whatever. I did try to use this pin off a badge, just didn't work because it just kept bending. So I've got a bit more, hopefully, of a reinforced one, and this is my rest in peace to Carnival Brewing. So I'm going to use this. It probably won't work. All I know is you have to be careful. And as long as all you can hear is the air coming out of the can and not like bubbling or like the liquid hissing or squirting, then you should be okay. So we'll see. But yeah, I picked this up from House Trembler Madness. It's been one that I've wanted to revisit for a long time. I don't know if I've reviewed it on the channel before. It might have been in a different format, like a bottle or a normal can. I don't think I've ever had it on tap, but yeah, it's becoming very popular, and even Terry's Cafe in London are starting to serve it. Which, by the way, follow that. I follow them on Facebook. I can't remember what the guy's name is, but he's like blonde, short hair, but it's a bit of a bouffant, wears a flat cap, proper like old school London geese, thick rim glasses, dresses smart as fuck. Yeah, Terry's Cafe. Or is it actually called Terry's Cafe? It's like me trying to call someone mate. It just doesn't sound right when I use the term mate. Anyway, so what I'll do is, because it is a little bit of can take a couple of minutes, I will attempt to pierce this can. That sounds like a really shit, like, trick or publicity stunt from the 1930s. And while it's doing its thing, I'll read the blurb on the back. So I can't remember where you should ideally be piercing, but I'll go on the part that's already got a little bit of a dent in it from the previous one. God, tell you what, the top of this can is high quality reinforced. There we go. Could that have been a bit too aggressive? I mean, it's starting to bubble out of the can. I've probably fucked this up, but we'll keep it in. Fuck it, we'll do it live. So while that's doing its thing, I was going to read it, but that's incredibly hard to read. So inspired by London's brewing heritage, this carefully... What? yeah, basically sessionable London Porter. Brewed for a smoother mouthfeel, perfectly balanced with cascading notes of coffee and velvety chocolate. A beer that champions the rich history and heritage of London's porters, both and modern independent brewing. The result is London Black, a beer that is easy drinking whilst full of character. And as you can see, the can's got a little bit squishy now. I just hope this is okay, because I genuinely want to drink this. Well, nothing's coming out of that can at all, so make sure we've got it lined up correctly. There are much better videos on YouTube of people using the Nitro Surge. And I know the glass isn't exactly the best. Probably should have got a bit of a get in there, lads. A bit of a bigger glass, but 45 degrees, and then we pour. Here we go. Yeah, I think I've fucked this up royally. Do you know what? I've not fucking turned the thing on. That almost made me stop recording the video, because that's a fucking stupid thing to do. Anyway, I mean, look at that, look at that. Hopefully we can bring it back. So let's try again. We'll elevate it a little bit so we can get a bit more of a head. Hey, do you know what? It's coming back, folks. It's coming back. Here we go. I'm not going to do the whole double pour thing, because I just really can't be arsed. I've annoyed myself. There we go. There's nothing left in there. So we've successfully got the beer in the glass. It's obviously not cascading as it should be, because, in fact, I've got a feeling this might have lost its charge. It's a travesty. It really, really is. But, that being said, we've got a very satisfying head on that beer. And, oh yes, look at that. Do you know what? I think we might be okay, ladies and gentlemen. Predominantly and probably solely gentlemen. Because what woman in their right mind would want to watch this shit? Well, it certainly looks good. I mean, look at that head. Look how creamy and bouncy that is. I can only think that that would have been so much better if we'd have done this correctly. Obviously, I've rinsed it out prior to doing it. They recommend you do that. And obviously rinse it after you've done it. But I tell you what, I'm not too upset with that on the optics. But then again, I could have just ruined it with how aggressive it was. Using the, well, it wasn't exactly a pin, it was a bit of a bigger hole than the pin. I think this could be absolutely awful, or it could be fantastic, but it's looking good. It could look a lot worse. So let's see what we can get on the nose. And I'm getting chocolate, I'm getting coffee. It's smooth, it's oaty, it's got that sort of like condensed milk aroma. Slightly caramelized condensed milk. Bags of chocolate covered wafers. Oh, do you know what? That smells fucking great. Man, that smells really, really good. I just hope the texture and the taste has not been ruined. But, do you know what? You've got to learn from your mistakes. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, looks like that's pretty much settled. Fingers crossed I've not completely ruined it. Jonathan Ross. Kung Fu Kev. Nonce. Anyway, cheers everyone. Smells great. Looks good. Let's see what it tastes like. Bash. thankfully, flavour's not been... I'd like to think it's not been too negatively affected, because it's a very nice tasting porter. And body's pretty good as well, although again, part of me thinks it could have been a little bit better, but that's down to me. It's definitely got a bit of a bulk to it. But I think down to me, it's not as creamy as it should be. So I will take that into consideration, massive consideration. But yeah, there's slight dark fruity notes in there. Definitely a dark black coffee flavour. Lovely roastiness. Gentle bitterness. Very much a nice biscuity, wafery flavour in there as well. I'm relieved. That's all I'm going to say. I'm relieved. Because it is tasting nice. There's just a niggling thing in the back of my head saying that I have ruined it. I've ruined the overall experience. I've ruined it for everyone, like I tend to do. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll take that. It's just so damn drinkable. Oh yeah. Tweaking my method, perfecting my method, I would definitely do the Nitro Surge again. I've got another Nitro Porter that I bought as well from Campervan, so we will do it on that also. I'll just be a little bit more gentle with it. And I've actually still got another can of the Guinness, so I'll probably do a review of that also, because that's what it's intended for. You know what, price-wise, I think it was more expensive just a few months ago. 25 quid just to give you beers, something a little bit different. And of course, it's not really intended for any other beer aside from Nitro Surge cans. But I think it's interesting, especially if you get 2 cans and then just try one with the normal Nitro and then try one adapting the Nitro Surge. If you're a content creator who actually gets views, you've got the basis of a really good series there. Although, because this has been out for a couple of years now, I'm sure you've beaten a dead horse. Is there a little bit of a gimmickiness to it? I don't know. It's yet another Guinness product in a world where everything seems to have a Guinness branded version. I do like the Guinness crisps. They are very, very nice. Don't really care too much for like the Guinness truffles. The Guinness like seasoning mixes for like casseroles and things like that. They're very good. I made an absolutely wonderful Irish stew with a can of Guinness. Came out beautifully. There's loads of like trendy, you know, apparel companies who are doing, you know, like unique clothing, who are doing Guinness collaborations. When I went to Belfast, the sheer amount of Guinness branded, like a lot of it was tat, but yeah. So I think in a world where Guinness is king and is everywhere, and you can plaster Guinness onto a keyring, a fucking soup spoon, lighters, I think it is a genuinely good product if you use it properly. And yeah, I will definitely be using it as regularly as I can. And it worked quite well on this, but I know it could have been better. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know what I mean? But the beer itself, fantastic. It really, really is. Just a wonderful, dark, sessionable beer. Smooth as silk. Flavoursome yet gentle. And I can see why it gets the praise that it gets. And if you're looking for an alternative to Guinness, then I think you could do much worse. Although I will die on my sword and say, even though I think Beamish overall is a more interesting beer than Guinness, when you have a pint of Guinness poured in the correct glass, poured with care and attention, ideally adopting that second pour settle method, if the lines are kept nicely, if the Guinness is in good condition, you're gonna get a consistently beautiful pint of beer. And I will die on that sword. And if you want to get that sort of effect at home, Nitro Surge could be a good option. I think there's also another Guinness product where you like put it on the table and you put your glass on top of it and it somehow makes your Guinness creamy. But of course, the best way to have Guinness is on a well-kept tap line. And we've talked a lot about Guinness on an Anspach Hobday review. London Black is fantastic, and to try that on cask would be wonderful. I know it makes its way to a lot of places here in the north. I think, isn't there even some bars where it's like a regular beer on tap? But yeah, London Black, just as honest as they come, much like the wonderful people of London. Salt of the earth, and you need a beer that reflects that. We've got our bitters, golden ales, and the Big Smoke has a lovely representation of the city. So yeah, I've got a feeling 99% of people have tried Anspach Hobday. Have you got a Guinness Nitro Surge? Have you found some beers have worked really, really well? Feel free to completely rip me apart on the way I incorporated the Nitro Surge into my beer drinking experience. But it's a learning curve, and I struggle sometimes to do the simplest of tasks. So I think that's a win for me. But I know deep down that could have been a little bit better. But that's down to me. The beer itself, wonderful. Would happily drink pints and pints and pints of this. I wonder if you get London Black shits like you do Guinness shits. Which can sometimes, if you've been on the Guinness all day, you'll wake up as fresh as a daisy. But then sometimes you will have, well, we've all seen the toilet basin, haven't we? Anyway, basin, isn't that what goes on top of the toilet? Toilet bowl. I'm a fucking idiot, and I'm going to stop this review now. Lovely stuff. A marginal success, but again, down to me. So yeah, thoughts, opinions down below, links in the description. And if you ever see it on offer, definitely pick up. And if you love your Guinness, it's a no-brainer. But I got mine for 25 quid. I've seen it retailing much more expensive than that. Do Guinness do, you know, their coffee version of Guinness? Do they do like a Nitro Surge or Nitro can of that? Because that would be wonderful. That to me takes Guinness to the next level. The coffee Guinness, genuinely good. As a coffee beer lover, works wonderfully well. Stop talking about Guinness and just sing the praises of what is a truly terrific beer. Anyway, 20 minutes of your life that, well, I won't get back, and you definitely won't get back. And I really need to wash my hair because I just look like a sting is going to knock on my door any minute and expose me for the sick degenerate that I am. I'm not any of those things. Although paedophile stings can be quite entertaining. I love seeing evil people squirm and being put in their place and being dehumanised. I'm actually a nice person, really. Bye.